Good morning, all, or afternoon for those on the East Coast. My name is Audrey Eloquin, and I'm from SmartDog Services, and I wanted to welcome you to the webinar series this morning. We have been continuing on with our EBS Summit series, which in a nutshell is what you need to know as an EBS customer and in light of the changes in the technology and in light of the changes to Oracle itself. And what we've done is create a very content-rich set of webinars to help you understand what you need to consider as a business person, as a business owner, and as someone looking to grow and to innovate on the technologies that they both have in-house, but also the new technologies to come. And so joining us today, we have Sushil Madhwani, who is our Director of Cloud Infrastructure. And he, apart from being a wonderful presenter, has a very strong set of expertise in Oracle generally, but more specifically in database administration and apps, DBA technologies, and Oracle Fusion middleware technologies and BI apps, and then specifically to today's series in EBS. And so for the next approximate 45 minutes, he will walk us through the future of EBS and what the pros and cons are of staying on the application, and what you need to consider as you progress and create a roadmap towards your future. So, Sushil, thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to your presentation.
Thank you very much, Audrey. That was a very nice introduction. You did speak a lot about me, but the purpose of this presentation is to let customers who are today using eBusiness Suite to know what's the future for EBS. Many customers have been given information over the last 3 to 4 years that EBS is going to be deprecated or EBS is going away. Everybody needs to go into the Fusion applications and blah, blah, blah. There are a lot of things that is happening. There was not clear direction from Oracle on what EBS is going to be doing in the long run. But thankfully, those things have changed. Most of you customers on EBS have spent millions and millions of dollars over the life of your EBS system. I know customers who have been on EBS since the 90s when it was character mode. And I actually worked on EBS on character mode in 96, 97 timeframe when they introduced the client server smart client. So it's been a long time. Customers have put a lot of money and investment, and it is a tough decision for customers on what is their future roadmap. Thankfully, last year, Oracle gave a much more clearer direction on EBS. But again, we are all busy with our lives. Sometimes customers don't directly get the information from Oracle because there are people from Oracle who are coming into customers and talking about, you need to get to ERP Cloud. You need to do different things. And EBS is no longer a viable option. So I would like to clarify as part of this presentation that there are obviously many options available today, but if you are an EBS customer, there are options available for you which can help you sustain your investments with minimal change, at least for the next 10 to 12 years. Now, if you do decide to go towards the ERP Cloud SaaS option, absolutely, that's fine. But at the same time, you need to be aware of what are the different pitfalls or that you could face during that process. So that's the basic overview of this presentation. So I'm going to start talking a little bit about it. So we've been doing this EBS Summit series where we've been focusing on various features of EBS, whether it is, how do you get on a EBS on the cloud, or, we had Cliff Godwin, who is actually the head of the EBS product management team at Oracle, who presented on what's the Oracle's EBS roadmap. And then there is actually a presentation a couple of weeks from today, which is being given by Nadia, who is the SVP of Product Management at EBS, who will talk about how you could coexist Oracle ERP Cloud, your SaaS applications, with your EBS and run your business successfully. So there are several such presentations. There's licensing options. There's things that we've been talking about over the last 3 months, and we're going to continue this series at least until the fall of this year. So if you are part of this presentation, you will be automatically registered for the future ones. Do attend them. It'll give you a lot of information about what it is from your EBS perspective. So we're going to talk about some of the different migration strategies that typical customers who are on EBS think about. What are the various options? If you decide to use Oracle Cloud, how does the Oracle EBS fit into that? And why Oracle on Oracle Cloud is uniquely equipped to be successful for you. That's the agenda. A little bit about me. I've been doing this for 24, 25 years. I've been a DBA, apps DBA. So I've worked on pretty much every technology and done multiple migrations over the years. And I'm also part of the Oracle Application User Group. I'm on the Customer Advisor panel. And, I'm actually on the Customer Advisory panel for the EBS team. So I do help customers make the right decisions on what they need to do with their future infrastructure. From SmartDog's perspective, we go into customers, especially the newer ones. We help them with their IT strategy. If they're thinking about the cloud, what are the various options available? We want to help you increase your profitability with the business that you run. If there's any IT modernization you want to do, new data center, you want to move into the cloud, we can help you with those things. And we can help you even if you want to continue staying on-premise as needed. So we help customers. Even if you have decided to go to AWS, that's fine. We'll provide you what are the pros and cons of being on AWS with the licensing and etc. That's what these presentations do. They're helping you give you different ideas and different options and what is the impact that the customers would have depending on the decisions that they make on where they are going. So most customers today, when they are thinking about EBS, there are different ways they're thinking about EBS. One of the options is they're done. They're tired of Oracle. Oracle is not necessarily a very customer-friendly company when it comes to dealing with their existing customers. So customers say, we're not going to do EBS anymore. We're retiring it. Okay. There are other customers who are saying, fine, we have EBS today. We'll minimize the use of it. We'll leave it as it is. We'll not do any migration. They'll retain whatever they have today. Most customers, I would say, are in options number 3 and 4, which is rehosting and replatforming. In rehosting, they are customers who do not want to go into who do not want to be on the data center business anymore. They are rehosting it. So they're replatforming it they're rehosting it on a different data center. So either they go to a colo or they decide to use cloud as one of the options. So that is rehosting. Where you move over to that new hosting company. Replatforming is if you are on a platform today that is not supported by your hosting company, then you need to replatform. You need to, change your, so if you're on HPUX, you would need to get to Oracle Linux, for example, if you go to Oracle Cloud. For AWS, if AWS provides HPUX, then you would continue on HPUX, or you would actually, use the operating systems that AWS provides. So there would be a little bit of replatforming that would be, associated. So these are different, obviously, costs that are associated to this. Some customers say, okay, let's look at it. What are the different things? Can we do a combination of the two? So they will, refactor some of their current business processes, then use some of the newer third-party tools. For example, a customer would decide, I want to use Workday for HR. So they will, just disable the Workday app. Their HR application on what they're using on EBS or PeopleSoft for that matter, and start using Workday, but the rest of the functionality will still continue on EBS. That's perfectly all right. And then the last one, of course, replace is definitely, that customers decide you don't want to do EBS anymore. Let's go to using SaaS. Now there are pros and cons to those, and we are trying to help you make the right decision on what needs to be done. So these are the various options. Completely get out of Oracle eBusiness Suite is one end. The other one is also get out of eBusiness Suite, which is the second end. But in the other one, you're staying in the Oracle infrastructure. In the first one, you're getting out and moving into a different ERP, whether it is SAP, Workday, NetSuite, whatever be the case. So something different from what you're using today. So why do customers want to migrate? there are different reasons. They want to minimize CapEx, OpEx. They want to gain operational efficiencies, or any one of these boxes can be the reasons why customers are thinking about doing their migration. All of these are valid points. What is right for your business is completely the decisions that customers make. And I think it's important to understand that, when you say migrate rapidly, there's really no quick rapid migration. So we are here to help you make the right decisions. Absolutely, you can improve your operational efficiency. You can, free up your data center. You can integrate with other things. But as far as rapid migration is concerned, the only rapid migration that Oracle eBusiness Suite provides for eBusiness Suite customers is a lift and shift, which I will speak about during later part of this presentation. But even that's not really rapid. You've got to still do a project to do it, but it is probably the fastest way to get to, but you would have to stay on the same platform. So if you're on Linux and you want to continue on Linux, and then you want to stay on the Oracle platform, migrating rapidly is the only way you can do it. No other option would be rapid migration. So this is now, some of the things where you, this is the graph for what are the benefits of going to the cloud and what's the time and cost. So the lift and shift, as I said, is the least time and cost, and I spoke to you about that, the rapid migration aspect of it, where, if you are already on a platform which is running currently on the Oracle Cloud, then Oracle eBusiness Suite has a lift and shift tool, which helps you, clone your on-premise eBusiness Suite and move it to the Oracle Cloud and bring it up there with exactly same, with no changes from the perspective of any patches. If you are on 12.1.3 or 12.2, it's pretty much no changes, you can get it done. And if you're on database version 11.204 or 12.102 and higher. So from that perspective, if you do not have, if you already are on a platform which Oracle Cloud supports, it's your lowest cost. Most of the customers will use, who are on AIX, HPUX, or Solaris for that matter. Solaris, is, even though it is Oracle, if you are moving to the Oracle Cloud on eBusiness Suite, you could stay on Solaris, but it's a 300 core server. So customers say, no, you don't need 300 cores. So what do? You have to do a replatforming. So you do a replatforming, do a platform migration, and move on. Now, for customers who are on or are not on Linux today, that is the best return on investments. Get onto a platform where Oracle supports the application. You could do it on a colo. You could do it on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure or even AWS. What is going to change is going to be your licensing depending on where you go. If you come to the Oracle Cloud, your cost of licensing would be drastically reduced as compared to any others, but customers already have purchased licensing. So sometimes it's like, I already have the licensing. Why do I have to worry about that? That's right. So then it's a question of where you want to run your business, what performance you want, etc. And the other one is obviously refactoring and above. That is an extremely high time and cost. Just to let you know that eBusiness, the ERP Cloud is definitely a great, it's definitely much more mature today than it was a couple of years ago. It is definitely a viable option for many customers. But if you are expecting that you are getting 100% of the functionality that you have today on EBS, on the ERP Cloud, now then you are being misled. There is definitely a lot of functionality that you have today on EBS that does not exist in ERP Cloud. So there are methods by which you can use the ERP Cloud to your benefit, and that would be detailed 2 weeks from now by Nadia, where she will talk about coexistence strategies, where you could use your EBS and the ERP Cloud and coexist both of them together to give you the right return on investment. Today, I'm presenting to you the options that you have. So where are the various options today? For example, if you're running your eBusiness Suite today on VMware infrastructure, then it doesn't matter what your backend is, correct? So you could just move it to the Oracle Cloud using, or even AWS, using Oracle Revelo. Revelo was a different company before it was acquired by Oracle, and it provides tools by which it adds an additional hypervisor on top of what you currently have on VMware, and then you can basically move your image over to any cloud of your choice, and it basically does an exact replica of what you have today on-premise on the cloud. So that's one option you have. The other one is if you are today already on, Oracle Linux, or even Red Hat Linux, you can move your application, lift and shift, and move it to the Oracle Cloud very easily. So these are the two rehosting options. The other ones obviously are if you're using containers or you're using, different operating systems, then you re-platform and you could get it to the Oracle Cloud or any other cloud for that matter. So most customers who are thinking about, who do not have EBS today, let's put it that way, they, would, for them, since they do not know what eBusiness Suite provides, probably for them, the SaaS is definitely the best way to go because, you don't have to worry about any patching. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You start with SaaS, integrate SaaS with your whatever on-premise applications you have today. I'm assuming your on-premise is non-EBS. So, you have third-party applications running, doing some of your, processes, business processes that you're doing. Just integrate your SaaS with that. You're using social, mobile, anything that you're doing, any new application development, absolutely go ahead and do it. But if you are an eBusiness Suite customer, okay, then you don't, I'm sorry, this is, we don't start with SaaS, we start with infrastructure as a service, that's a typo. And then you go into create your dev and test environments, do high production, high availability, big data, whatever it is, you make those, go through your eBusiness Suite in exactly the same way as you do today. I just want to give you one guarantee that Oracle eBusiness Suite has committed to their customers, irrespective of whether they decide to go to the cloud or they decide to go to a different cloud provider, that eBusiness Suite will be supported beyond, at least until 2030 and beyond. So you do not, and they're going to make the product better. They're on 12.2.7 so far. They're planning to go to 12.2.8 during Open World this year, and then they are looking at 12.3. Now 12.3 will either be released next year or probably 2020. So they are moving along with some of their, they are improving functionality than what they already have today. So you do not need to worry about eBusiness Suite in general, but if you have eBusiness Suite. So most customers, if they are not today on Linux, they will think about replatforming. So they replatform, they go put their eBusiness Suite either on the Oracle public cloud or on, I'm trying to focus on the Oracle public cloud, but you could use any cloud for that matter, or any hosting provider. There are licensing implications which come with that. So, you can replatforming is, you move it to a different hosting provider and, replatform it, and you will be on Oracle Linux or any other operating system if you're going to a different cloud. Or you re-implement onto SaaS. And re-implementation is typically, from my experience, about 3 to 5 times the cost to re-implement. And then after that, of course, you got to look at it from a 5-year return of investment. And if you're getting every bit of the functionality that you have today in eBusiness Suite, my personal option is, even if you're spending 5 times the amount of money to migrate, go ahead and do it, because you're getting all the functionality on eBusiness Suite. But the thing is that you do not. You have certain things missing in SaaS today, and I'm sure they are getting better. They're already much better today than they were 2 years back, and they're trying to improvise on that. But you are still, you're not getting every single bit of the functionality. To spend 5 times the amount of money to do a migration and then not get the functionality that you need, you will definitely save cost over the 10 or 12 year period. But I am guaranteeing you that if you continue staying on eBusiness Suite for the next 10 to 12 years, you are actually spending much lesser money, staying on eBusiness Suite and just doing your upgrades and migrations as needed, with a much lower cost to migrate and getting all the functionality you need, and probably more, because you can still integrate certain applications that SaaS has with eBusiness Suite. So what are the different use cases? The most common use case is disaster recovery, and that's the reason I've put that in the middle. So customers today are using a different co-located environment like SunGuard or any other third-party colo to do their disaster recovery. In that situation, what happens is you have, it's DR, you're having tapes being shipped, you have all that stuff being done. But if you really have a disaster, you have a huge amount of downtime. Sometimes you need to incur, before you can get your application up and running. So there is if you use disaster recovery and use Oracle Cloud or AWS as your disaster recovery solution, it's cloud. So it's something that you're paying for the infrastructure that's on the cloud. You do not have that amount of long-term downtime. So I would say the best way for you to experience the cloud is to start off with creating a disaster recovery environment in the cloud. It's a lower cost, it reduces. So instead of using a colo, use a cloud for that. The second, is your development and test environments. Today, if you're doing eBusiness Suite, you have a dev, test, patch, whatever. You have 3 or 4 environments, and then you have production. For each one of your environments that you have today, you need to acquire hardware, networking, infrastructure. There's a lot of stuff that is there. When you're doing a hardware upgrade, you got to go through the whole process again and again. Or if you're already running on a platform that is very similar to what's available in the cloud, then you could technically have dev and test environments running in the cloud, and you still have your production environment running on your own on-premise hardware. And you could, for example, have an Exadata box running on site, and you could have Exadata Cloud on dev and test, or you could even have just simple x86 infrastructure running on the cloud for your dev and test environments. And then you have just your stage or pre-production and production on-premise. So you have those combinations available. You could use whatever. If you feel that the performance that you're getting on the cloud in the future is, really good, and you want to get out of the data center, you could eventually move your production also to the cloud, because you get that increased scalability if needed. Especially for retail customers, for example, who want higher CPU usage between November and December, they can get that without too much change on their infrastructure. Just increase the scale up your applications on the cloud, and you get higher capacity as needed. So what is the progressive approach for most customers if they want to do the cloud, if they have eBusiness Suite today? Currently, you are on-premise, you have eBusiness Suite. You probably have some third-party applications. First thing is, you want to try the cloud? Let's do DR in the cloud. You can run your backup to the cloud. You can do DR on the cloud and still have everything on-premise as needed. You like that option? Then you could start, okay, let me start putting my dev and test in the cloud. So now you have some part of it. So as you can see, the colors in greens is the Oracle Cloud, and then you have the red ones, which is on-premise. So you have, still about 60 to 70% on-premise. You move some of it to the cloud, and you could have multiple environments running on-premise as needed. If you want to do performance testing and all that stuff, you probably want to do it on a host that is on a similar host on which your production is running. So yes, you'll have more environment. And then in the end, you see, the cloud is matured now, it's doing much better. Put your production on the cloud. So, this is this progressive approach. This is what you could do. You have today. You could look at this as 2018, 2019 timeframe. You could look at this as 2019 to 2021. And then, when you have again your current hardware that would get older in 3 to 5 years, you could, now in 3 to 5 years, okay, now I want to put everything on the cloud. So you have a progressive approach. You do not need to go big bang if you don't want to, and you can actually get yourself. You could stay in stage 2 for as long as you want. Oracle is not going to force you to go to the cloud. Obviously, everyone's talking about cloud, but you can stay on premise. There's absolutely no pressure from Oracle product management I'm talking about here. You will have sales folks come and speak to you about moving to the cloud. If what is right for you is, the Oracle sales teams do not know that. So you want to get the right information, speak to a partner like SmartDog. They will tell you what's right for you. We are your advocates. We will help you make the right decision on what it needs to be. So as we spoke about Oracle Cloud into your software development, put your dev, test, clone your production, create your dev in the cloud, create your test in the cloud, create your integration test, performance, see multiple environments, right? And then you have your performance test, your UAT and production in the cloud. I already spoke about this. So incorporate this into your software development lifecycle. It becomes a pretty simple migration. Now, you look at it from a perspective of what you have today. If you decide you're on 12.1.3 today and you want to do a 12.2 upgrade, we have always done upgrades even before, where we have had sometimes 6, 7, even 8 environments needed, because we have a sandbox, we have training, we have development, CRP instance, we have so many different instances that we create. to acquire all that hardware is so complicated. If you are running your dev and test in the cloud, you can even have your CRP instance, your training instance running on the cloud, and you can still run your production again. So there's so much benefits. And then if you are actually running on Oracle Cloud infrastructure, Oracle Cloud EBS has provided tools for you that you can do cloning of your environments directly in the cloud. You want to create a copy of your production onto a dev environment or your dev environment and make a new conference room pilot instance. You can do that because your instance is already running on the cloud. Now, there are things that are still in the roadmap. For example, there is something that's coming up. Oracle has said by the end of the year, which is going to be Oracle Cloud Manager, where you'll be able to do rapid cloning within less than 3 hours. You'll be able to clone an environment that's running either on-premise or on the cloud. Now, on-premise, it's obviously harder with the network that you use unless you use Fast Connect to connect to the cloud. But if you are already having an instance running on the cloud, within less than 3 hours, you'll be able to get another environment created as an exact copy. So today, it's not as quick today, but it's in the roadmap. Oracle is trying to make eBusiness Suite very, very easy for customers to use on the cloud with a simple drag and drop. It's still a work in progress, but it is much better than what it was a year ago. So I've seen it myself, and I think it'll be if you decide to do it, by the time you decide to have your dev test environment in the cloud, you will have that functionality available. Typically during open world is when they make these announcements, and then it becomes general availability before the end of the year. And then in the end, you like it. Oh, I loved this. This is great. The performance is awesome. You could put all your instances in the cloud as needed. But again, this is totally up to you and how you want to do it. Now, and if you look at this whole thing over here, we have been talking mostly only eBusiness Suite. Most customers are not just eBusiness Suite. They have other applications running too. So I will be talking about some of those too. So typically, as I already spoke to you, new implementations, global rollouts, upgrades, you want to evaluate a new EBS environment. You're trying to do business changes. You have to acquire infrastructure. Create those instances in the cloud. The lift and shift tool that's available by Oracle is an awesome utility which basically clones your on-premise environment. Just like you do a rapid clone today, and create that copy on the cloud. So you can test your upgrades over there. You can test the business impact. So rather than having a vision instance, which really doesn't have your real data, you can actually make a copy of a production instance on the cloud and use that as your vision instance to test the new functionality. We do an upgrade over there. Either you can do it yourself with your own DBAs, or you work with a partner to help you upgrade. Now that is obviously completely how you use today. Most organizations use a system integrator for those kind of upgrades. So, we will be happy to help you, but, here it is, I'm providing you options of what you have for your eBusiness Suite environment. So when ready, again, as I said, move your production to the cloud, and I've already spoken about that a couple of times. So now, hybrid cloud is where most people are, correct? On-premise today, they have all their eBusiness Suite. Some of them are using their, supply chain ASCP instance, the mantra, everything is running on-premise. Okay. Then they start moving lift and shift to the Oracle Cloud. They'll move some of those things to the cloud, but they'll still have their BI running on-premise. Okay. They'll decide that they want to use the HCM module, which is the SaaS Oracle ERP Cloud, and then integrate eBusiness Suite with HCM. So this is what is kind of like the coexistence model, which is going to be detailed, presented to you by Nadia in a couple of weeks. You could run your HCM model on the cloud, and which is a SaaS, and then still have all your other models. There are enough plugins available between HCM and the eBusiness Suite to make it work. And you say, okay, this is great. You're getting, you do not use this anymore. If you don't need to use the HR module anymore because HCM is giving you anything, you can decommission that, and you're good to go. Or you could use the combination as needed. So you're getting more functionality here than what you have in eBusiness Suite. Absolutely do that. Then you start, incrementally start moving other capabilities. You can start using your, Java Cloud Service, Developer Cloud Service. There is Big Data Cloud Service, BI Cloud Service. So start using other cloud services that are available. Anything that is new today that's available on the cloud, you could integrate that and still have your e-business suite. As you said, you can see over here, some of it is running on the Oracle Cloud, which is in the green, and the other one is still on-premise. So you're still having your e-business suite production in the cloud, but you're still having, and then you're using your HCM module, which is on this. So you're incrementally migrating to SaaS if needed. And then at the end of it, if you decide now, okay, I like everything that is now, I like all the functionality. 10 years from now, you say, okay, SaaS is giving me everything I need. Absolutely, no problem. You could do that, or you could continue using, e-business suite if needed. So eventually, if you want everything to go to the cloud, absolutely. So in this model over here, you're now completely right in the cloud. You're using the cloud services as needed, and you're moving your applications to the cloud. You could still have your on-premise servers for all your other third-party applications as needed, and you have a complete hybrid solution. So this again, summarizes the previous slide and gives you, lift and shift to the cloud, add value by adding some SaaS applications and eventually moving everything to SaaS apps if you need. But as I clearly mentioned to you, that staying on EBS would be the best investment for you if you already have e-business suite and you have spent, over the last 10, 15, 20 years, or however long you have e-business suite, you have spent that amount of time and money on your e-business suite. Stay on e-business suite. It'll give you, much better return on investments, on your own personal investments. So now, why Oracle Cloud? Why Oracle Cloud over AWS? There's a lot of automation. There's licensing. There are a lot of benefits to be on the Oracle Cloud. For example, lift and shift is available only on the Oracle Cloud. You cannot do a lift and shift from your on-premise to AWS, for example. It's not available. Okay, and then the automated quick provisioning of fresh images that exists today. Cloning is not available today yet. Quick cloning, that is going to be available. So, and you have Oracle Cloud, you have, your partner, SmartDog, that will actually help you. This is the time where the first time in history that I've been, Oracle is very much, close to the partners and is helping partners make projects successful. And we have a very good, integration with the product management team from Oracle. So if you run into issues during migration, we call the product managers. We open up SRs, but then we directly call product management, and they help us resolve the situation. I'm getting a few questions. I will definitely, answer those questions at the end of the presentation. So, please, do not worry. I'm not ignoring your questions. So again, here, you're going to get load balancing. There's a load balancing that's already available today. So if you have a 3-node application tier today, you can still do a 3-node application tier. During some previous presentations, we actually presented to you the architecture that Oracle Cloud has today. And if you want to get to know more about what the Oracle Cloud provides from an infrastructure and platform as a service, you could go to our website. We have all the previous presentations on the series uploaded on the website. So you could actually go and read and how we could do load balancing, for example. There's a whole concept of regions and availability domains that Oracle has come up with, and how you could do DR, within the regions, and, and how you could do it also, intra-region if needed. Intra-region DR is right now not 100% supported, but there's enough information provided about how you can do DR within a region and still get a real DR solution as needed. So there are enough presentations. There we have about 7 or 8 already that have been done on the series. If you need more information, please visit our website to get those slides. If there's anything that you need, feel free to email me or Audrey, who just introduced me at the beginning of the call, and we will send you links to download the slides as needed. So OCI, I would say today is definitely, when I say OCI, it means Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is definitely the place to be if you want to get the best performance on your infrastructure. Amazon was created a long time ago. They have, they're definitely the largest cloud vendor in the country. But Oracle Cloud has learned from their mistakes and is actually building a much better, faster infrastructure. And if you are running your enterprise e-business suite, which is a pretty complicated, tough to maintain application, Oracle Cloud is the best place to be. And as you can see over here, you have so many benefits that Oracle Cloud has, and I'm sure AWS has its own share of slides. And come to us. We have absolutely no issue with any customer on which cloud they choose. We will help you with the pros and cons. What is for your environment. For your environment, if AWS is the best place to go because you already have licensing, you have all those things taken care of, and you feel AWS is better, absolutely, we can help you to go to AWS. But this is more for customers who are trying to make a decision today, and they want to reduce licensing costs, or they're having a license audit, and they're looking to do, reduce their overall costs. Oracle OCI is definitely a great platform to be on. Okay, so there's also Exadata on the cloud. There's also RAC on the cloud. There's, on Oracle Cloud, you don't have that. So if you're running a RAC environment today, you will not get RAC on AWS. So those are some of the things that you need to look at when you want to run your e-business suite on the cloud. Okay, so this is my last, slide deck. My email address is right here. I'm going to answer a few of the questions that are there. The first question is from Anil. In fact, all the 3 questions I have is from Anil Gupta right now. One of them is from Sun Solaris to cloud. Does it need a platform migration and then cloud? So good question, Anil. You can do a platform migration directly into the cloud. You do not need to have it as a 2-step process. So what we would actually do is provision your e-business suite environment on the cloud and use, just as you would do platform migration from one data center to another data center. It is exactly the same way as you would do it to the cloud, because the cloud is nothing but infrastructure. It's a host. So we could do a 1-step platform migration directly to the cloud. Now, the second question is, if you move to Oracle Cloud, are you bound to do upgrades dictated by Oracle? Absolutely not. Oracle Cloud is nothing but an additional hosting provider. And the upgrades that you are forced to do is if you go to the ERP Cloud. If you're on ERP Cloud, you are on a SaaS platform. You do not own the database. You don't own the application. What you're paying for is the functionality, and you're paying for the business functionality over there. So if they decide to go to a newer version, they'll give you an advance notice. They'll help you with your dev and test environments. But on the day they decide to go, all the customers would be upgraded on the same day. So you definitely are not bound by that. So if you are on 12.1.3 and you want to stay on 12.1.3, you could stay on 12.1.3 on the Oracle Cloud as needed. If you decide to do a 12.2 upgrade, you could do that. The application still belongs to you. What you're paying for is infrastructure. What you're paying for is the automation that it provides within that infrastructure. They are not forcing you. The application still belongs to you. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. Obviously, when you go out of support, Oracle will start pushing you to get out of it. But that's the case even today in on-premise, right? If you have a patch to be applied today and you are on an older version of the database 11.203, they're going to tell you need to at least be on 11.204 or 12.102, where we can help you provide with a patch. So it will be the same. So now the next question is for hybrid. When we move HCM to the cloud from on-premise, this would require fresh reimplementation of HCM in the cloud? That is correct. HCM, if you do anything on Oracle ERP Cloud, whether it's HCM, whether it's financials, it is a reimplementation. There is no direct upgrade that is available. Oracle has spoken about Oracle SOAR, which was spoken by Larry Ellison at the earlier part of June. It's still a new concept. Oracle is definitely saying that they can help you with an upgrade to the SaaS, but it really is, again, a concept that has been created, and it does not exist as of today. As of today, there is no direct upgrade of any of your e-business suite applications to the ERP Cloud. If you want to be on the ERP Cloud, you have to do a fresh implementation. So, and that is a big effort. Does anybody have any other questions? If not, then I think we will, we will conclude this with ending statement by Audrey.
Thank you, Sushil. Really appreciate that. I think that from the SmartDog team's perspective, we're just really excited about the information that that we've learned in terms of Oracle and the direction for EBS customers. And it's something that we have just embraced with a lot of enthusiasm. So to continue on with the series, in 2 weeks, we'll be joined by Nadia Benjdu, who is on the product management side for EBS at Oracle. And so she will be delivering a presentation that is about Oracle Business Suite and Oracle SaaS, and it's titled Practical Coexistence Scenarios. So it's something that will touch on and continue the dialogue that Jashil started today, and help us understand, the strategy that's involved in the choices that you have that enable the coexistence of your Oracle e-business suite investment and cloud solutions. And so, in light of that, feel free to reach out to our team at any point in time via our website at smartdogservices.com, or to the emails that are provided in the series itself. And we're happy to continue the dialogue and help you to understand a little bit more of the direction that we're going as a company, and also the direction that we're going in tandem with Oracle. So again, thank you for joining us this morning or evening, and we look forward to having you along the ride for the series. All right, have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.